Title: In court, my wife's boyfriend, a lawyer, laughed. The judge is my friend. You're leaving this room with nothing, soldier. My wife smirked. He's too scared to even speak. Look at him. Start. He laughed first, a clean, arrogant sound that echoed through the courtroom like a verdict already decided. The judge is my friend, he said, sliding the papers across the table. You're leaving this room with nothing, soldier. My wife smirked beside him. She didn't even look at me, just adjusted her hair, glanced at her reflection in the glass door, and whispered, "He's too scared to even speak. Look at him." They had no idea. I looked at the signature line, my name typed neatly above it. The line where I was supposed to surrender 15 years of my life, my home, my dignity. And I smiled. We met when I was 19, she 21. I was fresh out of basic training, all fire and devotion. She liked that, said I made her feel safe. I believed her. Every night before deployment, she'd trace my dog tags with her finger and whisper, "Come back to me." And I did, every damn time. Until I came home early one night from Syria. The house lights were off, her car in the driveway. I heard laughter. Not hers, not alone. I didn't burst in. I stood outside for 3 minutes, counted her moans, her promises, his name. Then I left, quietly, like a soldier retreating to win another war. I learned the lawyer's name 3 days later, Daniel Price. Married once, divorced twice, known for winning dirty. He was defending her in the divorce and sleeping with her at the same time. When I confronted her, she said, "You were gone too much. I needed someone real." I nodded. I understood. And I decided to become someone unreal. It took 6 months. I moved out into silence, sold nothing, fought nothing, spoke to no one. They thought I'd given up. But I was a military intelligence officer before they broke me. They forgot what that means. I started with data, old habits, GPS pings, call logs, IP traces. Within weeks, I had his entire digital footprint, his encrypted messages, his hidden accounts. He wasn't just her lawyer, he was laundering money for 2 other clients, both criminal cases, both under federal watch. He used his firm's trust accounts to bury transactions. I didn't hack him, I just followed what he left open. His arrogance did the work. I printed everything, every deposit, every falsified bill. Every night he transferred her gifts. She thought those expensive purses came from his affection. They were paid with stolen money. I waited until her court date. That morning, I wore my old uniform. Not to show pride, to remind myself what patience looks like. When I walked into the courtroom, I could feel their confidence. Daniel with his smirk, my wife with her victory perfume, the judge with that tired, casual nod he gave Daniel. They had already written my ending. Daniel pushed the papers toward me. "Sign it, and we'll all go home." I leaned forward. "You sure about that?" He grinned. "I'm sure you don't have a choice." My wife laughed softly. "He's bluffing. He always does." So I signed. Not the papers, the recorder on my watch. Then I said, "Daniel, maybe the FBI will be kinder than this court." The smile vanished. I slid a sealed envelope across the table. "Inside is everything you've hidden from your clients, your firm, and your friend up there on the bench." He reached for it, opened it, and I watched his eyes widen as he read his own transaction logs. Transfers, dates, IP addresses, my wife's name on multiple payments. The judge frowned. "Mr. Price, is there an issue?" Daniel stammered. "Your Honor, This," my wife's voice cut in. "What is that? What's going on?" I stood, calm. "Your Honor, I've submitted a digital copy of this evidence to the district attorney's office. I believe Mr. Price has been using his client's settlement funds for personal transactions, including with my wife." The silence that followed wasn't quiet. It was loud, pulsing with shock, fear, confusion. The judge turned red. "Mr. Price, are these documents authentic?" Daniel couldn't answer. His hands trembled. He looked at my wife. She backed away from him, eyes darting like a trapped animal. "I didn't know. Daniel, tell them! Tell them!" But he couldn't. He was already calculating how fast he could run. Security came in first, then the agents. I didn't stay to watch him being escorted out, but I heard her screaming after him, begging, denying, collapsing. The judge declared a recess, then a mistrial. Outside, I stood on the courthouse steps and breathed for the first time in months. 2 weeks later, she came to my apartment, hair unkempt, eyes swollen. "You destroyed me," she said. I didn't argue. "You set me up." "No," I said quietly. "You set us up. I just made sure the truth showed up on time." She looked at me like she didn't recognize who I'd become. That was the point. Daniel lost his license, his practice, his freedom. The investigation revealed 3 more victims. My evidence sealed his fate. My wife, soon ex-wife, got nothing. The court froze her accounts pending fraud review. She's living with her sister now, trying to rebuild her name. As for me, I took the settlement money from a separate military injury claim and bought a cabin up north. No lawyers, no noise. Sometimes I sit by the lake and watch the reflection of the sun break across the water. Sharp, golden, untouchable. It reminds me that silence can be sharper than any blade. She said I was too scared to speak. But in the end, I didn't need to. I let the truth speak for me, and it spoke loud enough to silence them all. I used to fight wars for my country. Now I fight them for my peace, and I never lose twice.